I just almost got forcibly relocated to Cambodia. That was exciting. So I'm on this really long, complicated trip here throughout the Orient, I'd say. Started out, it was about 7 countries in 2 weeks, and started out with 5 days in the Philippines after going through from Panama to the US, LA, Hawaii, Guam, and then Manila. Got some work done in Manila and went up to Subic Bay for one day, and then headed through Taipei, spent the night in Taiwan, and then flew to Cambodia, Phnom Penh. Did some work there. I was only there for less than 48 hours and got into the country okay, no problem. Had to have a visa, you have to apply for all that and whatever. But when I went to leave, something weird happened. The gate agent that was checking me in said, she flipped through my passport a couple times and she was like, "I'll be right back," and she left. And I was like, So after a few minutes, she came back with a supervisor and he said, "This passport's no good, we won't accept it." And I said, "What? I mean, I got in here on this passport." And he said, "Yeah, it's no good." I said, "What do you mean it's no good? I mean, I've been traveling for years with it." And he's like, "Yeah, it's full. You can't go to Japan with that passport because you don't have any space in it." And I opened it up and showed him, like, "Look, there's 2 full pages open." And he goes, "Yeah, but there used to be something there. Those are used pages. We don't count those." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? They're blank pages." And yeah, one of them had a visa to, I think, Bolivia on it, which is one of those full page stickers they put on there. And I took it off a long time ago and put the sticker in the back because I didn't want to lose a whole page. I hate those stickers that take up an entire page of your passport for one entry into some country. The other one was probably something similar that washed off or something. Anyway, bottom line is, he's like, we won't let you get on the plane to Japan till you get a new passport. I'm like, "How am I going to get a new passport? I'm in Cambodia. I can't just go buy one at 7-Eleven." He's like, "It's not my problem. You're going to figure it out." And I'm like, "No, I've got, like, look, you need to help me find a solution to this. If you're going to tell me, I mean, I've got a finite visa to Cambodia. I can't move to Cambodia. So I can't stay here, but I can't leave, you're saying. So what can I do? Like, tell me, help me. What can," he said, "I'm not going to argue with you about it. I've given you my decision." And he got all mad and started yelling, I'm calling the police. You don't leave right now. I'm calling the police." And I was like, "Okay, that's not very reasonable, but all right." So I wasn't really sure what to do. I was like, oh my gosh, it was after midnight. I got a flight in, like, the flight's leaving in half an hour. So I went up to the immigration desk, because this guy's just a gate agent. Like, it's not on him whether or not they accept my passport. So I went up to immigration and I got the supervisor of all the immigration up there in Phnom Penh. And I said, "Is this passport okay? Will you accept this passport? Will you give me a stamp and let me out?" And he looked at it and he said, "Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. We'll let you go." And so I started kind of thinking maybe that guy down there wanted a bribe. But he didn't act like it. I mean, he was just, like, very adamant that you cannot leave with this passport. We won't let you on the plane. And I've since done some research on the internet and found that Cambodia is actually kind of bad about that. Like, if you have a little tear in one of your pages or something, they won't let you leave until it's either fixed or you get a new passport. And it's a former communist country. Red tape is like a sport to them. They take it to a whole new level. And so they just made a huge deal out of nothing. So I went back downstairs and I said, "Look, the immigration guy says he'll let me through. So what's your problem? I mean, let's go talk to him together and get this worked out." And he's like, "Look, you can't go to Japan because they want a, full page or whatever." I'm like, "I've got a full page that's open." He's like, "No, that one doesn't count." I said, "Let's go talk to this guy upstairs." He said, "Look," I said, "the only way I can get another passport is to go back to the United States. So how about if I change my ticket to go directly from here to the U.S. or, to go right to the U.S. instead of staying in Japan?" And he said, if you don't leave the airport in Japan and just transit through there, you can go straight home and then I'll let you on the plane. I said, okay. So I got on my phone and I changed the ticket to leave. I'm supposed to leave the 24th of this month to go back to the States, or back to Panama through the States. And so I just changed it to leave today. So I would just have a long layover in Narita, wouldn't have to leave the airport, and I could go right to the States. And then he was like, oh, okay, fine. And then he gave me a boarding pass and was very nice and let me on the plane. And as soon as I got to Japan, I just, went through with my passport, went through immigration, was praying hard that they would not have a problem with it. They didn't have a problem with it. They were like, oh yeah, no problem. Put a little sticker in it, let me right through. So once I got beyond immigration in Japan, then I just called United back and changed my ticket back to the 24th. So I did get the guy's email address in Cambodia, and now I'm going to send him lots of photographs of me enjoying myself in Japan, just because he's such a jackass. But anyway, such are the fun things that you do when it comes to international travel. I was concerned about maybe he was right, maybe Japan wouldn't let me through. Had a lot of people praying, and I was really concerned about that page that he said he wouldn't accept. That was clear, but it had a visa on it a long time ago. So while I was in Seoul, I made sure it was very clean. I cleaned it all up. I got some olive oil from the salad bar at the club, and I very lightly rubbed it on there to make sure there were no sticker residue on there or anything. And it's no problem. They put a stamp in my passport, and off I go. So now I'm headed to Ishigaki. It's an island in the south of Japan. It's long. Japan's very long. It's not very wide, but it's very long. It's about a 4-hour flight to get there. I thought Japan was a small country. And going to do some stories there, come back to Tokyo for a day or two, and then go back home. So stay tuned. I got a lot of amazing stuff. The stories I got in Cambodia will blow your mind. They're some of the most powerful things I've done in a long time. So stay tuned for that, and lots of eating bugs coming up too. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to follow me on my travels and get more travel tips for how to finagle your way through the passport control, just go to chuckholton.locals.com, and I post all my stuff there. And you like and share on YouTube. That'll help. Thanks.